Good evening, Aruba. I see you. And hey, good evening to all of you guys. Or I guess it's not evening. For me, it's still morning. It's 11:10. So good morning from Iowa. Good morning to you all. Glad you guys could join me. Can you guys please type in the chat? Let me know if you were on last night or if you are new today. Let me know if you're new today, new to this train. Maybe not new totally like to IML, but are you new? Actually, look, I'm gonna have three different things. Are you brand spanking new? Were you on last night? Or are you just new to today? Like you did not see last night? Okay, good. Okay, good. I'm so glad. Okay, so I have a nice mix here. Okay, good. So now those of you who were on last night, I'm pretty much what I'm doing today, because I do like a morning and then an evening. I try to make it so that I can hit at least two different targets of people. So some people were available last night and some people are available right now. So that's good. I basically am going to be going over what I went over last night. So if you are, hey, you want to hang out with me again? Come on and hang out. My recording from last night did not actually record sound because I forgot to unhit mute. Isn't that smart? So I'm glad last night was great. So this will be good going back over it for you guys. It's good to have stuff repeated. So there is a power in repeating information. So I'm going to talk about risk management. So those of you who are brand spanking new, this is for you. And honestly, those of you who have been in the game for a while, this is for you. Because I think I asked last time, how many of you guys feel like your risk management is like, oh yeah, no one can touch this risk management. My risk management is so tight, like I got this. Yes, repetition is the mother of knowledge. You got it. How many of y'all feel like I am just amazing with my risk management techniques? In fact, watch out. Let me teach the class. Like I can do this. Let me know. Type in the chat. Be honest. Be honest. Be honest. Not me. Nope. I would expect that answer from pretty much everybody, like including myself. I'm not going to act like, I was just this risk management queen. Some of us tend to have better risk management built in than others, really. I would say, and maybe I am sexist to say this, but I would say women tend to have a better, like they just kind of naturally have risk management built in versus men. I'll definitely say in my relationship with my husband, like this man, he goes over the deep end. Like it's good. It's good to have two different types. Like for instance, he's very risky. He goes out there and takes lots of risk. And I'm like, oh, hold on a second. Let's count the cost. Like I am naturally big on risk management. So, okay, ignore what that says. That's supposed to say risk management. Hold on a second. So yeah, I would just say some of us have a natural, and maybe some men out here have natural risk management built in. If so, this will be good for you. It's not, it's a little sexist, but it's, it's a little true. Like think about it. I mean, we balance each other out though. So that's a good thing. Maybe you have a significant other that is more risky than you, and that's necessary in any type of relationship. Necessary, okay? So I will say that I was the built-in risk management when I first started. Like I have never blown an account. My husband, on the other hand, yeah, he's blown accounts. So, and you know what? There's things to be learned. Yes, there's things. Yeah, your wife is cheap. I'm cheap too. And the funny thing is, my husband's cheap, but he's risky. Like when people get attracted to this market, because the market, it makes you feel like, oh yeah, I'm about to just win $1 million. Woo! Like if you come to this market with lottery mind, you're going to lose bad. Like you're going to lose really, really bad. If you treat this like a lottery ticket, it's going to pay you like a lottery ticket, and that's not a good thing. Think about it. How many people like pay for lottery tickets and how many winners are there? So I really don't want to be paid like the lottery. Sure, it pays out big, but here's the other thing. Those people who win the lottery have horrible risk management, which is why they end up losing the majority of it by the time it's all said and done. So we need to make sure we have good risk management, good financial management, and whatnot. Okay, so that's what I'm going to talk about. Yes. I mean, it's all good, guys. It's okay. If you've blown an account, look, what is it? The failure, that's like one of your best teachers, okay? So the last night, I started off with this. This is my, this is something that we pass on to the people in our team. It's like your first 7 days, which honestly, it can take you, a whole day. It can take you a whole, 2 weeks. It's basically you go at your own pace. And I do have this available on my website. I will show you that shortly. But what I wanted to scroll down to was specifically this here, the trader's commitment statement. I feel like because I'm about to talk about risk management, doggone, computer, come on now. Because I'm about to talk about risk management, one thing that causes people to abandon all risk is the thrill or the desire to come out here and kill it in the market. And in the end, you end up, burying yourself. Like, you're the only one that's getting killed. Keep this in mind. The market has all kinds of people, I'm so sorry. What's going on here? The market has all kinds of people in it. Like, it's got major banks, major institutions. Oh, I'm glad. Yes, good. It's on my website as well. Yes, it's got big institutions. It's got professional traders. It's got retail traders. And it's got you and me, it's got the newbies and whatnot. Okay. Why is that important for you to know? Well, here it is. You've got the institutional ones, which they work for banks. They trade mass amounts of money. They cause massive movements in the market. There is no market maker at all. Like, we are the market movers. Okay. But of course, the more volume you have to move, the more you're going to actually see that happen or take place. So when I say the more volume, I'm referring to if you put in a lot of orders, then you're going to see the biggest movements in the market. So obviously it is going to be the big institutions like the banks, the governments, agencies that move the markets. Okay, so there, I know I keep moving this thing. Here it is. If you want to screenshot this, you can screenshot this. Okay, but anyhow, and then you've got, the more professional traders, which they work for individual firms. They might work for like a smaller individual firm where they trade a certain, area of money, not area, a certain, department. So there's like a department specifically for traders. Then there are the retail traders. It's you and me who are sitting at our computer at home. Professional traders can also be at home, and then there's the newbies, like I said. Why is it important? Because you newbies are what make it possible, and I don't want to say you, like, you newbies. I'm just saying the newbies are what make it possible for this market to keep on moving. Because you get in and you're like, oh, look, I'm going to win. I'm quitting my job tomorrow. Woo, I'm about to be a millionaire. Retirement, you come in with those thoughts and then you lose your money because you're not making smart choices. Like, this is a big industry. You got to come in here with a strategy. You have to come in here with a plan. It's no different than life. Think about how many of us walk through life with no plan, with no goal, guys. Come on now. In all areas. I was a science teacher. Thank you. I was a science teacher for 10 years. We're big on the scientific method. You got to pretty much plan out. Like, you come up with a problem, and then you come up with a possible solution, and then you come up with an experiment to test the problem or your solution to see if maybe you have the answers. And if it doesn't work, back to the drawing board. Life is the scientific method. It really is. If you have no plan, then you have no expectations, okay? And you pretty much will just do what the masses do, okay? In this, like, I don't know if any of you have ever looked at the what is it? The statistics of the Forex market. If you have looked at them and felt like, ooh, I don't really know if I can do this, change the way you think, okay? Because there's a reason why a significant amount of people don't win. Like, it translates everywhere. Look at the United States. There's a whole lot of obese people. Why? Because the majority of people don't want to do what it takes to get in shape. Look at, the people who make it. Why is there only a few at the top? Why does cream rise to the top? Because there's a whole lot of people that don't want to do what it takes to rise to the top. It's not that you can't do it. It's just because you don't feel like doing what it takes. Same with Forex. If you want to win in Forex, why is it that there's not so many people that are winning? Well, there really are. But why is it like there's a larger percent of people not winning in Forex than there actually are? It's because a whole lot of people don't want to do what it takes to win. Okay, I'm done. So, as you guys can see, maybe you've been reading this while I've been yakking on and on. I made this for myself when I started, and I made it for my team because, and you guys, we're all IML. You guys are all my team. I feel like, okay, I get tired of people hounding me or hounding my team about this whole Forex thing, all right? Treat this like a business. Treat this like you went to college. I know a lot of us in here went to college, and then there's some of us who didn't, who really cares, because honestly, it's all about what you can do and who you know, like, to be all the way honest. So here it is. I am a student learning a skill that can pay me for the rest of my life. If you guys really embodied this very first line, then you would totally treat this the way it's supposed to be treated. If you truly believe this is a skill that can pay you for the rest of your life, oh my goodness, give it all you can. All right. I am under no pressure to begin to trade live. I have no reason to rush. I will take my time and get what I paid for, which is education. I understand IML is an educational platform. When I tell others about IML, I tell them just that. If anyone wants to know if I have made money trading, I will tell them the truth, that I am a student at the moment, and instead of sharing my dollar amount, I share my progress since I have joined. Okay, I'm a pause here, all right? Too many people feel pressured into trading live right off the bat. I mean, now I'll be honest, I'm sure some of you guys out here just wanted to trade live just for the thrill, just for the fun. And hey, go for it. Try it out. Just don't be trading live with crazy amounts of money. Don't trade live with anything that you are not willing to say goodbye to. Okay, if you're like, I have $500, I don't mind blowing it, then try the trading live. Because, hey, it is exhilarating to be in the live market. It is exhilarating in the beginning, okay? Also, you got to look at trading live as though it's any other educational platform. Think about your doctors. How would you feel if I said to you that, hey, today, guys, I am going to do your root canal. And guess what? Here's the kicker. I just started my medical school yesterday. All right, go on and sit back. I'm ready. Are you ready? Like, how many of you would be like, oh yeah, root canal. Look, I'll even offer it to you for a discount just because I'm so new. How's that sound? How many of you guys ready to take me up on that? Anybody? Any takers? Any takers? Come on now. Who's ready for the root canal? Performed by me. I just joined yesterday. In fact, my books are on order. My books will be here next week, but I looked around online and I found, I watched some YouTube videos about how root canals are performed. I think I can handle this. How many of you guys are like, yeah, sign me up. It's free. It's for me. I'm down with that. Anybody out here? I know some of y'all were on here last night, so you've heard this analogy, but I got a taker. Woo! How about open heart surgery? We can go open heart surgery. We can do eye surgery. You pick which one you want. Guys, today I will do your open heart surgery for free. If any of you need organ transplants, I got you. Look, I was watching the Magic School Bus and they had something about, organs and stuff. I'm sure I could work it out. You just connect the red to the blue. The red to the red. You get it, right? Who's with me? Anybody? Anybody out here watching Magic School Bus? That's old. Total throwback. Anyhow, so you get it, okay? So you need to stop acting that way. Don't put that same pressure and don't allow nobody else to put that pressure on you, all right? I understand there's no real difference from this educational platform and going to any college or trade school. When students join colleges or trade schools, they're not expected to be excellent at their trade or major within the first few weeks or even within the first few years. Give yourself a break. Act like, hey, if this takes you 2 years to learn, will it be worth it if you're a walking ATM? Will it be worth it? Guys, if it took me 4 years to learn this, it would be worth it. I don't know about you. You have to want it so bad. If you really want it, you can do it, okay? It's the same thing in anything you want. It's going to take work, but hard work pays off. Okay. So let's see here. Where was I? All right. 2, I too will give myself the appropriate amount of time to improve my skill and craft. I will not rush myself or allow anyone else to rush me. Big one right here. I will not compare myself to others' skill level because I am unique. I compete only against myself. I give myself permission to take my time, pace myself, and practice, develop, and perfect my skill. Now, I don't know, some of y'all who've been with me for a while, I a lot of times say that you're not special and you're not unique. That really applies only in the Forex market. I talk about that other times. But right here, you are unique in the way you think as far as how your skill level, how fast it takes you to learn something, how like, does it take you a long time? Does it not take you a long time? Yes, I do have it. Thank you very much for posting that. It is also here. Let me go ahead and move this to over here. And I might try to refresh my page to see if that doggone translator is working. This is my website, okay? If you go to builtforwealth.com or builtforwealth.com/blog, it doesn't matter because it's right here. You click on blog, it will take you to my blog page where I pretty much put up everything that I taught. So Mondays and Tuesdays, I kind of do similar teachings just because it just makes sense. All right. And then Wednesdays, I'm going to go over something different. Sometimes on Tuesdays, I do something different. I usually put it in the Telegram groups. So right here, this was what I did last night, risk management. I will upload this video that I'm doing today in here because for some reason, what I taught on last time was not, I did not hit mute. All right. So the whole video was recorded with no sound. Isn't that great? Don't you love technology? I also have some very awesome links that are in here that you may want to check out. Position size calculator, which I'm going to go over. The tool set. When you click on this link, it includes trading journal samples and the first 7-day packet, which is what I just talked about. And then this link right here, Google Forms Trading Journal. So if you have Google Forms, or if you are tech savvy and know how to navigate Google Forms, then this will be for you as well. I'm going to go over my Google form. I went over it last night. Now it's available to you. You can actually click this link and then implement it into your own Google Docs. You can customize it to your liking, and then you'll have it ready for you for your trading journal. Okay, so now let's move on to some stuff. Like in this 7-day packet, I also have the 7-day packet is to get you started off on the right track. So I actually have you guys, journaling, very, very minor journaling and whatnot. Here, I'll scroll down to it. Right here. This is a preliminary. This is like a baby journal, but it's amazing. It's still good. It still gives you a lot of information. The thing is, this journal is set up for your new people. You have new people, it's set up so that they already come with the right mind frame, okay? I'm more of a trader. My husband's more of a builder. So as a result, I put this together from a trader's mind in perspective. A lot of times you've got all these different plans floating around. None of them even touch trading journals. Why do you need one of these? That's part of your risk management. I'll talk about that. Something else that you need to have is a trading plan right here. This is, it says preliminary because this is a very baby version, but at least it's enough to get you started right, okay? It talks about, what you should have in your trading plan and also when you should go live. So if you're interested, I am not I'm not trying to act like a salesman. I'm just telling you this is a resource that I have available on my website. It's free. Feel free to use it, okay? So where was I? Now, on to the beginnings of the beginnings, risk management. We'll start off talking about leverage, okay? Leverage is very important. Let me, sorry. Okay, moving my PowerPoint over here. And before I go deep into it, let's just make sure. I'm going to refresh this page real quick, just see if maybe the programmer has, fixed it. Is the translator button? No. It's not there. Okay. All right. Yes, all this is on my blog, all of it. If you can't hear anything, those of you who cannot hear anything, this is recorded, so hopefully you'll be able to hear it on my blog. Okay, so here we go. What is leverage? Okay, I start off with this because, yes, all this is on my blog. Sorry. I start off with this because when you first start, you know, IML Train has something about set up your broker. So does the 7-day packet. And then it tells you what leverage to select. A lot of you just select what you were told to select. I believe IML Train tells you what to select. I know in the United States, if you select or use a broker here in the US, the most you would be able to select is a 1 to 50 leverage, all right? But if you select any broker outside of the US or online, then you can go all the way up to a 1 to 100 or 1 to 1,000 even. So a lot of people are like, oh, the more the merrier. Let me get that. Here's the thing, guys. You're not going to use all that leverage. You're really not, okay? There is two types of leverage. There's basically the maximum leverage, and then there's your true leverage, okay? So the maximum is what you're selecting when you first start, because I used to get all kinds of questions, like, what is this leverage? Which one should I select? Should I do 1 to 200, 1 to 300? What should I do? It doesn't really matter. Like, really, honestly, you're not going to use more than 1 to 50. Brokers in the US decided to limit it because people were leveraging mass amounts of money. And what is leverage anyway? Okay, let's say you're buying a house. When you go to buy a house, most of us here in the US at least don't actually have house money. In other words, we don't actually have enough to buy our house outright with cash. You want to buy a $250,000 house? Do you have $250,000 sitting in your bank? Hopefully not. Or in a mattress? You know, do you have $150 in your purse? No, most of us don't just have $250 just lying around, you know, just wishing I could know what to do with it. I'll just buy a house. No, a lot of us go to our banks and we take out a loan and they say, hey, I'll give you $250,000 if you give me 20%, basically your down payment of 20%, you know, or whatever your down payment is. So what they just let you do was leverage higher amounts of money. Maybe you really had, what's 20% of 250,000? Anybody? 250 times, 250. I'm just doing my math times, come on now. Who's my math wizards out there? Okay, that's $50,000. Bam, there you go. So if you have 50,000 in your bank account, we'll let you use 250,000. Thank you guys, thank you. So you got 50K, then we'll let you use 250,000 that's a 20% down payment. What did they let you do? You came to the bank with 50 grand, and they're letting you use, you know, 250,000. That is leverage, okay? So now here's the thing. Maybe the maximum leverage that they would give you is whatever is off of 20%. But maybe you really just want to buy a house for $80,000, okay? But you could go all the way up and take out $250,000. Does that make sense? So your true leverage would be the $80,000. Like, I'm only using the 80. I don't really need all of the 250. Yeah, they hustle everybody all the time. Just because you can get the max amount does not mean you should use it. And that's the same here, okay? The most your broker will allow you is up to 1,000. But guys, you won't need more than a 10 to 1 leverage. That means for every $1 that you have, you will be allowed to leverage $10. But right here, this is like for every $1 you have, the bank will let you leverage $1,000. So if you come to the bank with, that's how you're allowed to start, like in Forex. Look, it's all a hustle. I'm trying to tell you now. Yes, you can open up a broker account for 25 bucks. If you select the 1 to 1,000 leverage, that means you're now able to use up to $25,000 off of 25 bucks, which sounds great. Oh, look, I don't have to have that much money. But if a trade goes bad, you're going to blow your account so fast before you blink an eye. When you sneeze, all your money's gone, okay? If the trade goes against you. So it's not always good to use the maximum amount, and most of the time you won't. You'll use the true leverage. All right, so you guys have seen this, lot sizes in Forex. There's the standard, there's the mini, and then there's the micro, okay? So notice right here, it says 100,000 units. So that means if I came to the bank and I had, let's say I had $1,000, all right? And I wanted to use a 100 to 1 leverage. That means for every dollar that I spend, I can use 100. I can buy 100 units. So, like, you know, if I came to the bank and I had 100, or what did I say? I say 100? Yes, I did say 100. Yes, if I said 100 and I selected a 100 to 1 leverage, that means the most I would be able to use is a mini lot with ease. I'd be able to use a mini lot. I wouldn't even say with ease. Yeah, keep refreshing. If you can't hear, I hope that's making sense. I'm not going to go too deep into lot sizes. I just want to share with you, that's what these things are coming from. A lot of people want to deposit $100 in their account, and then they want to try to trade with a standard lot. Well, guess what? You try to trade with a standard lot. This right here is a standard lot, meaning 100,000 units is required. So you need to have 100,000 units in order to trade a standard lot, which is $10 per pip. If you have $100 in your bank account, then you're going to need to use like a 1 to 1,000 leverage, which is not good. Not good at all. You want to always keep it 10 to 1, okay? Always keep it 10 to 1. So that would mean, like, for instance, you deposit $100 in your account, the maximum on a 10 to 1 that you can leverage is maybe 1,000. So that would keep you well within the 10 to 1 true leverage, all right? Sure, you can get 1,000 to 1, but a true leverage would be a 10 to 1. Or, you know, for you, like for good risk management, would be a 10 to 1. Okay, so here's another example. You deposit $10,000 in your bank account. You decide to buy 5 standard lots. So that means, remember, 5 standard lots is how many units? 1 standard lot is 100,000 units. So 5 standard lots is 500,000 units, okay? So this is how you can figure out what your actual true leverage is, all right? If you took your 10,000 and you divided it by 500, and I don't want to go too deep into this because I don't want to confuse people. Honestly, guys, this isn't really even the most important thing. What's important is you knowing anytime you deposit money into the bank, or excuse me, into your broker, only go 10 to 1 over that when you're doing a leverage. And there's actually a nifty calculator that will do all of this work for you. All right, so I'm actually going to talk about that. Before I talk about that, I'm going to quickly, briefly go over margin calls. Those of you who were on with me last night, you guys went on, you guys were with, you've seen this, so this is good. See it again. Also, if you're sitting there right now like, huh? What is she talking about? This true leverage? What? Like I said, the takeaway for that is that you need to make sure that you don't over leverage your account. Just because, here's the takeaway. If you were to write something down, like my takeaway point, if you were to deposit $100, you know, then you should not be leveraging anything more than 10 to 1 of that, which would be 1,000. If you deposited $10,000, then that means now you can leverage up to 100,000. Okay. The quick version is don't over leverage your account. Okay. So here we go. This is what a lot of you guys see. When you guys are on your phones, or if you're even using a computer or an iPad, you see something that looks like this: balance, equity, free margin, margin level percent, and then margin. There's just this little margin just keeps on appearing a lot. The main important things that you need to be keeping an eye on are this, and the equity, okay? So it says, notice the names to the side: balance, equity, blah, blah, blah. All right, all of us have it. If you guys have your phones with you, you can actually go to that right now. So balance versus equity. I'm just going to talk briefly. This is simple. Balance is what you deposit into your brokerage account. Equity is how much money you're actually worth at that time. Every time you open a position, look down here where it says position. These are positions. Okay. If you can't understand, it's like, first of all, what don't you understand? Type in the chat, because I know I went over some stuff with leverage and I want to condense it all down to a very basic, you know, takeaway. Right now, this is simple. As of right now, we're just talking about what's on your phone, what's on your computer. What do these things mean? This is all just getting to know those, because you need to know these when you're doing good risk management. Balance, how much you actually deposited. Equity, how much you're worth, kind of like your house. How much did you pay for it versus how much is it actually worth right now? All right. So, and the market moves, it's fluid, it fluctuates. Like maybe your house, when you bought it at $100,000, and now because of it's a buyer's or seller's market, maybe now your house is worth $150,000. So you have a $50,000, you know, it's over, you know, it's a higher value. Okay, so positions right here. This is what you open up. This is a currency pair, the Euro USD. A lot of times, I see people open up multiple positions. Meaning, can you adjust the leverage on your account? Yeah, you can change the leverage, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you change it or not. Just know that you do not need to use the maximum amount, okay? So, like a lot of people like to open up like 500, not 500, like 10 of the same pair. They just go and they buy the mess out of Euro USD. They buy like 10 of them. Why are you doing that? That is not diversifying yourself. If you're going to have more than 1 or 2 or 3 positions open, at least have multiple currency pairs. Don't buy the Euro USD and then the Euro JPY and then the Euro NZD. Like, you have too many euros. Diversify, okay? So yeah, you can have 3 of one, no more than 3 of one currency pair. If you're writing notes, write that down. You should have no more than 3 of the same currency pair. And there's a purpose for why you might have 3 or 2. But there's no reason to have 10. You're maximizing your risk, putting all your eggs in one basket, okay? So diversify. In the same way that you should have multiple streams of income, treat Forex the same way. You should have multiple different currencies that you invest in, okay? So here we go. Equity. Notice how right now this thing is at a 57 profit. So you can see that there's the equity is floating. So as you're in a trade, this equity number moves up and down depending on how you're doing down here. This does not change at all until you close a position. Once you close it, if you were in profit, your profit is added to your balance. If you were negative, the negative is subtracted from your balance. And then that will stay stationary until you get into another trade. Okay? Your free margin is how much money you have available to trade. That's like, hey, you know, I want to buy a certain house, like I have this much money available to purchase it. Okay, that's pretty much the same thing. All right, then you've got your margin level percent. This is where all eyes should be. Yeah, you do see that. A lot of times you'll see people do screenshots and they're like, oh yeah, I did good. Well, guess what? If that pair went bad and they had maximized, they had like 10 trades on that thing, that would have been trust me, they wouldn't have posted that. That would have been a silence. No one would have ever known about it. And I know a lot of people do that. Okay, anyhow, free margin level percent. This is what you watch. This should always be above 150%. Always should be above 150%. 100%, if it gets to 100% and falls under, you will get margin called. Anybody in here blow their accounts? What happened was you fell below 100%, fell below it, and they took your money. What money did they take? They took your margin right here. This margin is the down payment. So I'm going to go through it. Your free margin, remember, is the amount of money that you have available to open new positions. The higher your margin level percent, the better. Like, this is great. Do you see all this money that they have available to open new positions? Like, they can open up 10 positions for sure with ease. But each time you open up a position, this percent is going to go down closer and closer to margin to that 100%. So you want to stay above that. As your equity fluctuates, like if a trade moves negatively against you, the margin level percent is going to go down. Your free margin is going to go down, okay? So that's why you don't want to have too many trades open at any given time, because if it does, you're going to be in some trouble. All right, then you've got this margin right here. This is like the down payment. For instance, okay, if I was going to let you borrow some money, like when I was talking about, you know, the bank gives you, like they'll give you $250,000 and you can, all you gotta do is come with 50K. All right, you borrow that. If something goes negative, you can say goodbye to your 50K. All right, it's the same thing with a margin. The margin is like the down payment. We will let you leverage this much money, but we're going to need this down payment in order to allow you to leverage that kind of money, okay? The more positions you take on, the more margin this is going to require. They're going to need a down payment for every position that you open, all right? So based upon margin, is the account a 100-to-1 type of an account? Let's see here. I don't know. Like, it's not very easy to tell what it is. Like, you can tell what the level is based on how much, like, they open up a very small lot size. This is a micro. So for, you know, it's hard to tell. They could have a 1 to 1,000, but they might just only be using like a 1 to 2 leverage, honestly. Okay. So here we go. Like I said, this is the down payment. Why is all this important to you? I'm glad this is answering a lot of your questions. Why is this important to you? It's because if you've ever heard that horrible sound, the sound of like money getting shredded and doors being closed, when you get when you get margin called, this is what happens. The margin, your equity, equals or falls below your actual amount. Like, excuse me, what does it say? Yeah, your equity falls below your margin. So right here, see this margin right here? When your equity falls below this, is equal to the margin, equal to the down payment, or falls below it, they're going to close your accounts. And whatever is in there, they're taken. Okay? So right here, if I got margin called on this, I would be losing $11.24. Not a big deal. It's going to take an awful lot for me to lose that kind of money. The market would have to move very, very bad against me, like 1,000 pips against me before that happens. Or I would have to have a lot of positions open, which then would require higher margin. Okay, so I'll give you examples. Okay, when is the margin favorable? It's always favorable as long as you keep it within a good amount. Like when you start, like here, I'll show you examples. Like this, which one on here is closest to receiving a margin call? No, they don't. Okay, so TI Elite, they do this. I'm about to answer your question right now. Okay. Right here, A, B, or C, which one is closer to receiving a margin call? Remember, I said if it is close to 100%, you are about to receive a margin call. Which one is close to receiving a margin call? I see a couple of answers. Let's get them popping. Come on, let's do it. Let's put it out there. Put it out there. Which one is closest? Which percent is closest to the 100%? Okay. I see a lot of you guys putting A. You are correct. A is closest to receiving a margin call. And it, like, look, they have multiple positions open. They might have very high lot sizes. That might be the case. They might have even more than what's shown on this screen. But look right here in the margin. Look at the equity. Look at the balance. They have $4,900 that they have available to them in their account. Their equity is $48,000. But look, their margin is $3,260. When this margin equals the equity or is close to it, or if the equity falls below the margin, this is what they're taking. They're taking that right there, that $3,200. That's what they're going to take. If you don't close something out and free up some space, they will just do it for you. They'll close all your positions, and then they'll just take all of that down payment with them. Okay, so then what will happen is you take that, subtract it from your balance, that will be what you have left in your account. So if you've ever blown your account, it's because your equity fell below the margin. Okay, this margin level percent is calculated by taking your margin and dividing it by your equity. So it's constantly fluctuating. How do I know my current account? You know what's your current account based on the balance. Like, you know what's in there. You know what your equity is, because if you have any positions open right now, yes, that's what happened. Yes, guys, this is what happened. You know what's in your account based on your equity. Like if you have a position open right now, go and look. You'll see the equity is constantly moving up and down and up and down and up and down. If you're doing well, your equity is high. If you're doing not so well, your equity is down low. But the moment your equity falls below whatever that down payment is, then the broker is like, closing the accounts. So how can you keep from losing? Like, let's say this was your account. How do you keep from losing that $3,200 if this thing falls below 100%? Close out a trade. Just take a small loss. Go ahead and take $100 loss so that you can keep from losing $3,200, okay? The more positions you close, you'll start to see that this margin level percent goes up, okay? So that's how you keep from blowing your account. Be very mindful of that. Another way that you keep, it says, what do you see? I hope that answered your question, TI Elite. Let me go back and see what the question was again. I think I answered it. The question was, let's see here. I think I answered it. I'm trying to click and see. Big on answering questions. I don't know where the doggone question went. I'm just trying to scroll back and look here. All right. I'll just ask. Oh, it says when you lose out on the trade, they take the trade and the margin as well. Yes, there you go. No, they just take whatever is in the margin. So whatever is in there, say goodbye to it. If you don't want them to make a decision for you, then you make the decision yourself. You see this thing nearing that, you need to close out a trade. Don't put no more positions on there until this thing is at least above 200. So look at B. If you're looking at B, you can see right here, margin level percent, very high. All right, they have plenty of room. They can open up more positions, all good. You can see the equity is much higher than the balance. Why? Because they got some nice trades going right now, okay? So, and then here's another one, margin level percent, 2,855. Remember, taking your margin and dividing it by your equity, you will find out what your percent is. You have plenty of room to trade. When that sucker starts to fall below 200, don't open up no more trades. Don't open up anymore, okay? All right, so that's basically what you need to know about that. So now let's move on to, okay, I talk about opening up positions. Here's the thing. Too many people don't understand when they open up positions. Like I said, you'll find people that have like 10 of the same. Look at this. This is a good diversification. They got AUD, JPY, they've got Euro odd. They have something else going on here. Like they have a they're diversifying their account. So if they're sucking over here, they're winning over there, okay? Always good to diversify. And then the other thing is you need to have strategy when you opening up positions. So let me go ahead and open up this position size calculator. So if you go here, position size calculator, I'm going to go through why and how you use this. If you are taking notes, please write this down. When you open up an account, you need to make sure that when you go for risking, here's like your number one rule. If you understand this, then you can forget everything I said about the whole leverage and 100 to 1 and 10 to 1 and calculating in math. Remember this and forget all of that. Here's my newest takeaway. When you have an account, you should not risk more than 5% on anything that is, I'd say $1,000 and under. 5% cannot risk more than that. If you have 2,000 and up, don't risk anything more than 3% of your overall account size. So let's say I have $1,000, okay? I deposit $1,000. This means I will not go over 5%. Me being the risky conservative, or the non-risky, very conservative person I am, even on 1,000, I won't risk more than 3%. The reason why I say 5 is because some of y'all are not going to be excited about the numbers coming out. They're not going to be sexy enough to you. So 5% is the most that you should risk. The higher your dollar amount, like all of a sudden you're depositing $10,000, your risk level should fall even lower, like 2%. Why? Okay, here it is. Takeaway number 1. First rule of trading. It is not to make money. Surprise, surprise. First rule of trading is to protect your money. Protect it. Protect it. You deposit $10,000, you want to at least keep your $10,000, okay? First rule of trading, protect your money. Protect it, okay? Second rule, make some money. Third rule, go back to rule number 1, protect it. So that means if a trade is moving against you, don't stay in a losing trade, hoping you'll turn around, get the heck out of there. Protect your money, all right? If a trade is moving in your favor, get that money, secure those pips. Don't just let it hang out there until it retraces and now you're mad because you had $200, but then you only secured 20, okay? All right. So rule number 1, protect. Rule number 2, make some money. Go back to number 1 for rule number 3. So let's say I deposit $1,000. I am going to risk, like I said, maximum 5%. If you're taking notes, 5%. All right? For me, for Adaeze, I do not like to take any trades over a 50 pip stop loss. If you are a swing trader, by the way, swing traders are people that like to hold trades for several days. They hold them over weekends. They definitely hold them over nights. They might hold them for a couple of weeks. You're probably going to need a higher stop loss, maybe like 100 pip stop loss. Me, I'm more of an intraday trader, which means I'll hold it for a couple of days. So I don't like to take anything over 50 pips. After 50 pips, it's not worth it to me. When you have higher accounts, like when you got 100,000, then for sure you can start taking on like 100 pip swings or 200 pip swings. But the lower your account, the lower your risk, your stop loss should be. Okay? Yes, protect your money. That is their first rule. First rule, guys, protect it. If you're out here losing, you are not following the rules. Protect first and foremost. All right, so 50 pips. Why is this important? This little blank right here. It is because this is the only thing that you have control over. Those of y'all who like to be in control, okay, Janet Jackson, control, okay? Those of you who like to be in control, that's the only thing you get to control. You do not get to control how much you make. You do not get to control which direction the market's gonna move. You don't get to control anything of the sort. You only control how much you protect, how much you can lose. I am okay to lose X amount of dollars. That is what you get to control. That is it, guys. You are only in control of what you can lose. So right here, you need to figure out my stop loss. I figured out that I don't want to lose anything over 50 pips. If this trade is 60 pips and up for the stop loss, I'm sitting this dance out, okay? If Swipe Trades calls a trade, which typically I think all their trades are within 30 and under, so that's good. But if Harmonic Scanner has a trade and it's like 100 pip stop loss, I'm not doing that one, okay? And don't try to modify it to fit yours, because there's a reason why the scanner called 100 pips. It says that you're gonna need at least 100 pip swing to be able to get into this trade. So if you try to get in and say, I'll just do 30, you're for sure gonna get poked. Your stop loss is gonna get hit. So make sure you know what your risk is. Protect those pips. All right, so this right here is a wonderful calculator. I got $1,000 in my account. I don't wanna risk more than 50 or 5% of my whole account. And then I'm going to hit calculate. What does that mean? Now that shows that I am okay to lose $50. I ask myself, are you okay with that? I say to myself, I'm okay with that. I'm in. I'm getting in. So then what happens? You go into your phone, your computer, your desktop. You set your here it is. This is my lot size. This means I will be able to trade $1 per pip. So if I make 100 pips, I get $1 per pip. I made $100. Okay, yay, I'm cool with that. So when you set this thing up in your phone, you got to set it and forget it. Why? Don't be in there eyeballing your trades. Don't be in there babysitting them, checking them every, like you're Santa Claus, checking it twice, I don't know. I'm sorry. Anyhow, I don't know where that came from. Look, once you set it, do not look at it again. Why? You said to yourself, I'm okay to lose $50. All right? I'm going to talk to you about different things that you can do. Like for me, I set alarms. I put my stop loss and my take profit, and then I set alarms. If it's going in my favor, I set an alarm to let me know, yay, it's going in your favor. If it hit my stop loss, I set an alarm to let me know it hit my stop loss. So when I get into a trade, I don't never look at my phone again until I get alarmed. Like, ooh, goody, it's going in my favor. Or, oh, shucks, it hit my stop loss. Or yay, hit my take profit. Like, I just go that way. I do not look at my trades. It will drive you crazy. And then you'll be yelling at your children or your spouse for no reason, just because you're mad, because you're constantly checking your trade. I know y'all done that. You're all uneasy because you look and you see it's negative, and now your kids getting on your nerves, spouse getting on your nerves, everybody's getting on your nerves. You ready to go home early at your job. All right, I know I'm not the only one. Do not babysit your trades. Or you do something even dumber. You modify your trade because you're like, oh God, it's going the wrong way. Then you modify it, your stop loss gets hit, and then it goes the way you thought it was going to go anyway. And it wouldn't have happened if you would have just left it alone. So when you enter a trade, you just take that money, kiss it, and throw it up in the air, because that's what it is. It's in the air now. You don't know what's going to happen. You agreed that I am okay with losing $50. Walk away. Walk away. Check your trades. Maybe if you don't have the alarm, then check them every 2 hours, every 4 hours, whatever, once a day, however much time it needs, because there's nothing you can do after you set your trade. All right, so here it is. That's the thing. Now I got people. It says account size 1,000. Is that with or without your leverage? No, that is what I put into my account, $1,000. That is not including leverage. And like I had said earlier, if you got this, you can totally forget what I said about leverage. This right here will make sure you stay within a good leverage, okay? So like, let's say you deposit $500. 50 pips is what you want. Now look at this. Oh, now I'm losing $25. I'm making 50 cents per pip. Oh, but 50 cents per pip is just not sexy. Oh, it's not exciting. I think I want to risk more. I want that standard lot, even though I just deposited $500 into my account. Well, let's see what happens. What does it take to get to a standard lot? Let's see, 50% of my account? Does that work? Let's calculate it. Nope. At 50%, that's 500. So let's see what happens. 100% of my account. I just want to be able to get them pips, y'all. I just want $10 per pip. I only deposited $500, but I want to trade with a standard lot and get those $10 per pip. Well, guess what you just did? Why did you just get margin called? Because you over leveraged your account. You just risked 100% to get $10 per pip. You're not staying in the game very long, okay? That's not smart. If you want to have sexy lots, then you got to deposit sexy lot money, okay? That's basically what it comes down to. Otherwise, you have to be patient. You have to be willing to learn the skill that pays you for the rest of your life, okay? So back to my little right here, sexy lot money. This is not sexy lot money right here. So you want sexy lots, you got to have sexy lot money. What does that look like? To get with good risk management, what would that take? You need to deposit $10,000 right now today. Now, I don't have $10,000 or I don't have $10,000 that I want to deposit. Okay, so then what you should do is demo trade, guys. All right, now this brings me to the journal. This is what I'm about to talk to you about. So many people are like, I want to go live. I want to make money. Okay, demo. Nothing wrong with demoing. Why? Because how you practice is how you will play, right? How you practice is how you play. Let me ask you a question, all right? All y'all out here on the channel. If you could consistently make 200 pips a week, easy. If you could make 200 pips a week, easy, every week, and you have shown this for 6 months that I have been securing nothing less than 200 pips average per week. Notice I said average because that gives you room to like suck. Like maybe you had a bad week. But overall, I have been able to secure 200 pips per week for 6 months in my demo account. Okay, let me ask you, would you feel a lot more confident to go live with much higher money than $500? Type in the chat, tell me. Would you be more willing, more confident to go live with much higher money? Like you gonna find $10,000 now. Like I have shown that I can do this. So look, let me go get some real money. Ain't no reason to play around. How many of you would feel confident? 200 pips every week, average for 6 months in a demo account. Would you feel confident to come out the gates with way more than $500? Maybe. Okay, well then maybe you need to demo longer. Because I don't know about you. If I could secure 200, if I was securing 200 pips per week, guys, that is what, 800 pips a month? All right. So if you were to come out on a standard lot, you're securing $8,000 per month. Okay. So let me just say, if I was showing that I got this, I don't want to come out with no $500, especially when I know I have the ability to trade. I have shown discipline. I have the ability to secure this much money. I would come out the gates with way higher. If I didn't have it, I would go find it somewhere. Like seriously, okay? Pretty cheap. Well, see, here's the deal. Like you're still thinking with the way you're thinking right now. Like if you were getting 200 pips per week, and I'm going to talk to you about something. If you're getting 200 pips per week on a standard lot, $10 per pip, come on now, that's $2,000 per week. You ain't going to be too cheap. Like if you come out with $500, look, this is what you're making per pip, 50 cents per pip. That's not exciting. For me, what I said is this. If you don't want to deposit sexy lot money, then demo with it. Trust yourself with it. Because guys, once you go live and you have a set skill and you start removing the emotions of trading, you will be way more on top. You'll be more stable to be able to trade with higher money. Right now, none of us are very trustworthy. Okay, like you might gain 10 pips a day, lose 50 pips tomorrow, gain 200 pips tomorrow, lose 300 pips next week. Like, you're all over the place. All right, you got to show consistency. So I don't know about you. I would totally be much more confident if I knew 6 months of demoing and I am pulling in 200 minimum average. Oh, please believe it. Please believe it. Okay, so I'm going to go to this here. I have talked to people, and I believe last night I had someone on my trade. And I know there are people and there are educators, and this is all on Facebook. Oh, just get 10% a day, 5% a day, 4% a day. Well, I don't care what it is. All right, look, I say to you, stay the heck away from that. Do not try to get any percent of your account a day. Do not try to get it even like a week. You focus on pips, collecting pips, okay? Your goal is to secure pips for the week. And that might be, I want 50 pips a week, maybe. I want a minimum of, 100 pips a month. Like, get that. Start off small and then work your way up to it. Why do I say this? Because I know people are like, oh, well, if you do 4% risk with a 50 pip stop, you can do that. No. If you are using proper risk management, like I showed you, which is between 3 and 5%, okay? Let's say on 3% of my account, what I just showed you on this position size calculator right here, 3% of my account, remember? Like, you don't want to risk no more than 3%, all right, of your overall account. So with 3%, and remember how I said I don't like to go over 50 pips, all right? If you were to try to get 4% of your account a day, you would have to get 67 pips every single day. Every single day, you would have to get 67 pips. Guys, you're not going to get 67 pips every day. It's not going to happen. And what's that going to do to you? It's going to put you in a position to overtrade. That's what it's going to do. Like, instead of closing out your account with 20 pips and being happy, you're like, I want 30. And you get 30, I want 40. You get 40, I want 60. And then what happens? It retraces and you lose it all. Collect small amounts, nickel and dime this Forex market, okay? You cannot get 67 pips a day. I know y'all are laughing because you've all done it. I've done it. I got 10, I want 20. I got 20, I want 30. I got 30, I want 40. Like, that's what it is. You never stop. Always have a plan. Always have a maximum. Like, I will be in this trade. I don't want nothing less than 20 pips out of this trade. That's fair. That's fair. 10 pips out of this trade. After 10 pips, I'm going to start managing my trade. Okay? That is so fair, guys. 67 pips is not feasible for new people. It's not even feasible for people who have been in it for a while. Not every single day. You're going to have bad days. So what happens if you have a bad day tomorrow? What's going to happen? Are you going to have to go and double it? I got to go and get 123 pips now so I can stay on top of my 4% a day. No. Okay? So stay the heck away from those. Stay away. If you doubt me, look at the math. Look at the math. Okay? You can see it right here. Fine. If you must get 1% a day, then get 1% a day. That's feasible. Here's the other thing. Your bank gives you 1% a year. So for you to get 1% a day or 5% a week is fair. Pip collector coming through. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Stay away from that. You see people are like, oh, I'm in the 50 club. I'm going to get 50. I'm going to take $50 and I'm going to have 50 days. It's going to turn into 50,000. Really? Where is that? Where does that exist outside of in the lottery, in the casino, or on the streets? I don't really know where you can take $50 in 50 days and turn into $50,000. Yeah, not without what I say, easy come, easy go. Like, that's easy. Like, no. If you want something, you got to work for it. You got to put some sweat into it. You got to put some sweat into it. It will happen, but it's going to be gone just as fast. I'll give you an example. My husband, when we first started trading, this man got in the market, and I was like, stay out of the market. Please stay out of the market. This man made $1,200 in 30 minutes. Okay? Woo! You could not tell him anything. He was the Wolf of Wall Street. Yes. 30 minutes, he made $1,200. And guess what happened, guys? Do you want to know the story at the end? You know, Disney movies have a happy ending. Well, this one did not. This is not a Disney movie. What happened? He gave all of it back and then $800 extra. He gave it all back and then some. Why? Because you feel like you can do it. You feel like you've conquered something. Your greed monster is full force. What do? You give it all back. You give it back to the banks. You give it back to the professional traders. You give it all back. Yes, he did, guys. Yes, he did. Oh, my God. He came into the room, eyes big as saucers, like, oh, my God, they just made $1,200. Well, what does he want now? It's like you chasing after that high. It's like getting, okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I was never a user of drugs, but I'm sure people can relate in some way or some form, whether you've heard it or have done it. You are chasing a high. That's basically what you're doing. He wants that same high again. And what happens? He'll never get that high again. Okay, proper risk management. Let's go. All right, so let's do it. Let's do it. So what do you need, guys, in order to have proper risk management? I have talked to you about several things. Talk to you about, it is an addiction. It can be. Gambling is an addiction. If you treat the Forex market like a casino, you will have the same addiction problem. The problem is right there at your fingertips. So you need to get some good, you need to get Risk Management Anonymous under your belt. All right. So you need to trade smart, make clear goals, specific, measurable, attainable, rewarding, and timely. Anytime you take a trade, you do not get into this market until you know, why am I getting into it? What do I want out of it? When will I get out of it? That's what you should be able to answer. Why am I getting into it? What do I want out of it? When am I getting out of it? If you cannot answer those questions, back away from your phone. Back away from your computer. You are gambling. Back away. You have a problem. Okay? Needs to be specific. What am I getting into this for? Oh, because swipe trade said so. Okay, cool. But what do you want from that swipe trades? Do you want 30 pips? Do you want 20 pips? Why are you getting into this? Oh, because there was a signal in the group somewhere. I must take the signal. Why are you taking the signal? Do you even know what you're risking? Like, don't just take signals just to take them. Okay? We all did it. All right. So this is like the trading plan. You need to have a journal. I'm going to show you some journals that I've done. Anytime you take a trade, you need to be writing down what you are doing. Here's an example paper copy. This is also available on my website. You write down the currency pair here. Was this a buy, a sell, buy stop, sell stop, blah, blah, blah? How many pips did you risk? I want to risk 20 pips. I want to risk 50 pips total. How much money did you risk? What was your total lot size? What was your total number of positions? How much percent of your account did you risk? I'll put it at towards the end. It's builtforwealth.com. So percent, remember I talked about that. 3%, 5%, anywhere between those, okay? Now, I need to pause and share this with you. Too many people are like, oh, yes, I want to risk 50 pips, you know, and let's go back to this trade. 500, all right, 50 pips, woohoo! I'm about to get into a trade now. I'm risking 3% of my account. Remember when I said you should not have more than 3 positions open? Well, too many people do something like this, where they're like, okay, so what is this? The lot size is 0.05. So now, what do? They go and they open up, where is it? They go and they open up, what? 3 trades, 3 positions, all at 0.05. Here's one, 0.05. Here's another position, 0.05. Here's another position, 0.05. Look at me, I'm risking 3% of my account. Yay! No, you're not. Do you know what you just did? You just tripled your account risk. How did you do that? Look, 3% is a 0.05 lot. If you open up 3 positions at 0.05, you have now just risked 9% of your account. Now that's what you're going to be losing. When you thought you were losing $25, you're actually losing $45. okay? So that's not how you do it. If you are going to open up, if you're going to open up 3 positions, okay? You're going to open up 3 positions. I'm sorry. Yeah, you get it. Okay. Fine, there it is. If you are going to open up 3 positions, you divide your lot size by however many positions you're opening up. If you want to open up 2 positions, divide 0.05 by 2. If you want to open up 3 positions, divide 0.05 by 3. So that all 3 of them equal one of these, this 1 5%, okay? Does that make sense? And I'm sorry, you actually risked 15% of your account. So you thought you was losing 25, you actually just lost 75. You follow me? I know we've all done it. Okay, so that's something important, all right? Very important for you to know that. So you would divide this by 3. Divide 0.05 and you would get what you're supposed to get. So back to this thing right here. That's why I said, what was your total amount risk? I would write $25. Well, what was my total lot size? 0.5. How many positions? 3, all right? What was my percentage in my account? 5%, okay? Understand? Capiche? Hopefully y'all get that. Pips. So you're planning now. Why did you get into this trade? Because I wanted to secure X amount of pips. I want 10 pips. So that's going to give me whatever, how many dollars. What's my risk to reward ratio? Your risk to reward ratio should be nothing less than 1 to 1, at least. If I'm going to risk 25 pips, then I better be getting 25 pips. Too many people risk, 25 pips to go and get 5. You're scalping. I just want to scalp. You're risking 25 pips to go get 5? I don't think so. Okay. All right. So this is what I planned to get. This is what I actually did get. Like maybe I sucked and it didn't happen. Or maybe I rocked it and I got way more. But you write that down. You write down when you entered. What was the actual entrance position? Okay. Stop loss. What was my initial stop loss? Did I move it? What was my final stop loss at the end? How do you pronounce the name? Adaeze. And then length of trade. How long was I in it? 2 days, 2 hours, 2 minutes. I write that stuff down. Signal entry. You should always have a basis for why you got into a trade. Why did you get into it? Did you get into it because there was an engulfing candle? Did you get it? There was a double bottom. Did the harmonic scanner call it? Did swipe trades call it? But you should have a minimum of 3 checklists. Okay? Was there a support resistance line? Fibonacci. Okay? This is all going to be under my blog, Risk Management Revisited. All right? And then, did you meet your goal? Talk about it. Explanation. How did you feel? This is actually very important. I felt really good. I entered the trade and I, was very confident, or honestly, I took profit too early, or I moved my stop loss and then the trade went the way I thought it was going to go and I got stopped out. It's good for you to write that stuff down because after having plenty of these, now you have a history that you can go back to, okay? So this is one example. This is a paper copy. You can print it out. Those of you who are, traditional and you don't like all those little bells and whistles, that's good. Here's another example. It's the same thing, but it's an Excel spreadsheet, okay? So you got your currency information. What was the pair? Was it buy, sell, blah, 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 risk management, planned, actual. And then you can actually even calculate, how much are you making versus how much you were losing and all that good stuff, okay? What signals? Did you get a wick, demand zone, all that good stuff, okay? And then this is the one that I currently use now. Oh, shucks. Hold on, let me go to it real quick. I currently use a Google document and a Google Forms. I'll show you what they look like. I like this because, guys, I had all the right intentions of using my, using my paper copy, but then I'd be like out and about and then I'd close a trade and forget to write it down. So I ended up doing a trading journal online. And now I can, I have it. So it's like on my phone. It's like right on my home screen. I can click on it and then I can enter everything in right there. So that's what I do. This is what it looks like. Okay. And if you guys like this and you're tech savvy, then I made this available to you also on my website. So let's look at this. I can make the Excel one available. I didn't put that one on there. But here it is. So same thing, currency pair. You click it, you put it in there. What session am I trading? This one. What order type? It's all the same. What time frame? The thing I like about this is I can easily change, modify stuff, add stuff to it as I grow it. I like this a lot. How large was my stop loss? How many pips? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, number of positions, entry date. Okay, here's some other things. My signals, you can have more, leave room for other. What was my overall mood? Was I sleepy, happy, angry, sad, neutral? Like, what is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? Sleepy, happy, dopey, all that. Okay, and then on a scale of 1 to 5, how confident are you taking this trade? Very confident, not very confident. It's okay if you're not very confident and you still take the trade. That's something to look at. All right, why is this journal important for your risk management portfolio? Because when you start going back in your history and you're like, Euro USD, every time I take Euro USD, I really suck. Like, I always lose. I don't know what it is about Euro USD. I just always lose. Well, what would you say to yourself? I should probably not use Euro USD anymore. Me and Euro USD just don't get along. Okay, or if you always take trades during the Sydney session and you're like, you know what, the Sydney session is where I just kill it. Well, what does that mean now? I think I'll start only taking trades during the Sydney session. Can you see how you put yourself in a position to fine-tune what you're doing? You see this? Buying and selling orders. Anytime I do an instant order, I do amazing. Anytime I do a limit or a stop, I suck. It never works. What does that say to you? I don't think I'll use limit or stop orders anymore. Okay? So it says, I had that problem with Asian currencies. I don't know why. Okay, and you don't have to know why. What you do know is that I just not trading Asian currencies no more. Like, it's just not right now. Like, maybe go focus on something else. Let's see here. Okay. Where was I? So, and then, you get it. Time frame. Do you execute on the 1 hour? Anytime I execute on the 1 hour versus the 4 hour, I do much better. So what does that say? I'll start executing on the 1 hour. Then you start refining your plan. Okay. How large are your stop losses? Anytime I do 20 pip stop losses, I always get poked. But when I do 50, I never get poked, or I very rarely get poked. So what does that say? I'm going to just have higher stop losses. Okay. 50 pips. All right. So I think you're getting it. Anytime I enter with these 3 checklists in mind, whenever I see these 3 things, then I get in. There are people that are specific traders. They only trade with Fibonacci. They only trade with, Elliott waves. Like, they only trade with, so you'll start to realize that when I start seeing these key 3 things, then I do well. So what does that say to you? Anytime I get into a trade, I need to see a retest. I need to see it at a key Fibonacci level, and I want to see an engulfing candlestick. I won't take a trade unless it has all 3 of those elements. Okay? Right now, you're just clicking whatever you see, and you're figuring out, what do I like? What do I like? What works for me? Okay? Yes. Okay. You get it. What was your overall mood? Sleepy, happy, dopey? Yeah. Okay, you get it. So if you were happy, you seem to rock it when you're happy. Maybe you do very well when you're sad. I don't know. Then maybe you just have to be sad every time you trade. Can I learn about the patterns? Yes, you can. All right. And then maybe you'll start to see over a period of time that your confidence level goes up. So that's very good. For me, I always put a link of the screenshot of the trade prior to entry because, because I like to be able to go back and see, okay, if the trade worked good, well, what did I do? How did I draw it up? Why did it work so well? If it did bad, well, what did I do? How did I draw it up? Why did it not work so well? Can I see how it went the other way? So, because I use tradingview.com. TradingView allows you to do screenshots and put the links. So that's what I do. Okay, so you guys get that. And now, without further ado, I'm going to rattle off this trading plan like an auctioneer, okay? Just so I can get you guys done within the next 10 minutes, all right? We have talked about journals. I've shown you 3 different types of journals. I think FX Choice has, if you link up your MetaTrader 4 with that, it will actually keep track, and it'll tell you your win rate, your percent win rate. It'll tell you all your winning trades, all your losing trades. I think it's FX Signals. That's what it is. Okay, so when to enter. All right, these are things that you need to have in your plan. Do you write out an actual business plan? and you say to yourself, and this will get refined when you use your journals. You'll know that I only enter when I see this. I only enter when I will only do these checklists. I don't care if the MACD says to enter. I don't care if the Elliott wave says to enter. I will only enter when I see these. So you will be refining this plan over and over. So you need to know when you enter. When do you exit? What will happen in order for you to get out? And how will you manage your trade while you're in? Too many of us get in and the trade is moving fantastic, but then we only secure very minimal amount because we didn't manage our trade well, okay? Do you do trailing stops? That's where you move your stop loss down as the market moves down, or, you move it up as the market moves up. Set it and forget it. How many times will you look at your trade? I just put this in. I'm only going to check it once a day. I'm only going to check it once every 4 hours. You need to make sure you know that. Stick to your rules. Trading View allows you to set alarms, but you have to pay for that. So if you don't want to pay for that, then maybe you just check it every 4 hours. How many positions will you have open at a time? 3, 2, 1 big fat one. Someone asked last night, why would I want to have 3 trades open versus 1 big fat one? Well, maybe it's because as the trade moves for you, you move the stop losses up. And then maybe as you hit take profit 1, you take a position out. You hit take profit 2, you take a position out. Then you just let the other one keep on going, okay? That's called twin trading, all right? How much risk will you take on each trade? So are you gonna do 5%, 3%? How much do you wanna risk of your total account per day? I know for me, I don't want to risk more than 9% of my account for the week. So if I have a bad day and maybe I quit for the day, I'll try again tomorrow. And then if I ended up risking at least 9% of my account for that week, I'm done for the week. I'm not going to risk anymore. I'll come back next week fighting, living, and having money in my account. Remember, rule 1, protect your money. Rule 2, make money. I was not following both of those rules, so I just decided to go on and exit on out. All right. What will you do if you end up losing and meeting your risk amount? Oh, like I said, I'm done for the week. I'm done for the day. Depending on you. You figure this stuff out. All of this will be on Risk Management Revisited. I will have all of these. All right. What should your state of mind be before you take a trade? What do you do when you see negative? What will you do when you see positive? When you see negative, do you do personal developments? Do you just not look at it? Do you go eat a whole bunch of food? No. What do? You better not do anything. What you need to be doing is figuring out how to have no emotions. None. You don't feel anything. You already know I'm losing $50. So if it's negative, it's negative. How soon should you come out of the trade if you're losing and haven't reached your stop loss? That's the thing. You do not come out until your stop loss is hit or until you've reached what you wanted. That is how you trade. That's how you trade. That's how you trade. That's why I say figure out your risk amount ahead of time. Too many people get in there oh God, it's going up. Let me move my stop loss up. Now you've lost even more money. Yes, exactly. This is the do or die mission. You do it or you die. Anytime you take a trade, it's do or die. Okay. And that's going to lead you to success. If you finagle your trade, you're going to be out of luck. Okay. Time of day that you trade. You'll figure that out by your journal. If you realize that New York sessions is where it's at for me, then you'll put that in your plan. I only trade during the New York session. I only trade between the hours of 8 and 10. Anytime I put a trade in between 8 and 10, I rocked it. Anytime during this time, I sucked. So you'll figure that out. How do you trade? Do you trade when news hits or not? I don't like to trade when news hits. I like to wait for the reaction. That's me. But you'll figure that out. No, I want to trade. I want to take a risk. All right, that's your plan. All right, what type of trader are you? Know the type of trader that you are. Are you a swing trader? Are you a scalper? Scalping means you like to collect, you like to be in a trade for 10 minutes and collect 2 to 3 or 4 or 5 pips at a time. A day trader is somebody that's only in a trade for the day. They don't like to trade over, they don't like to trade into the night. Intraday, you don't mind holding a trade over the night, but you're not really trying to hold it over the weekend. Okay. Scout or swing trader, you'll hold it over the weekend for several weeks. A position trader, you hold it from January to November, but you got to have some deep pockets for that. All right. So both swing and position traders typically have deeper pockets. people who come with the love, like they typically have, you know, 500 to 1,000 and up. All right, so there you have it. What type of trader do you like to trade? Are you a fundamental trader? Do you like to trade with the news? Could you care less about news? Everybody in here should definitely be a technical trader to some extent. Price action, reversal, harmonic, trend line. Do you only trade off of key Fibonacci levels? What do you want? Jay, anybody who gets on J Pips, he is a price action, Fibonacci, harmonics trader, like a trader. He trades off harmonic patterns. He trades off of Fibonacci, price action. He doesn't really use big indicators. He's not very big on indicators. He's big with support and resistance areas. That's price action. Chris Derrick, trend line trader. He's always drawing a trend line from here to kingdom come, all the time. He's always drawing. So that's where he's found his niche. He likes the trend lines. All right. Again, he's not big with indicators. So when they say secure your profits, should you not move your stop loss or should you just take? No, secure is when you're like, and that's what I said about managing your trade. Once your trades get to a certain point that you determine, then you move your stop loss. But if, like, let's say the trade is going against you and people try to move their stop loss so that they don't get hit, like, don't run away from getting poked. But if your trade is moving in the direction of your favor, then you can move your stop loss up a little bit at a time. You decide, do I want to move it up 5 pips every 20 pips it moves? Do I want to move it up 10 pips every 30 pips? You know, you decide that. What do you want out of a trade? I will not leave unless I get 10 pips. So that means after your target is hit of 10 pips, then I will move my stop loss. You determine that, okay? I hope I said that, DT flow. All right, Andre, he's Fibonacci, Elliott waves, okay? No, not much on the indicators. He has indicators. Justin, Fibonacci, price action. He's getting into harmonic patterns. He's definitely a price action trader. Chris, harmonic, Elliott waves. He uses Bollinger Bands, moving average. That's what he uses. What do you have to do before you get into a trade? Are you routine? Do you have to wake up early and read the newspaper or surf on Facebook or read a book or read the Bible or do a devotional, or what do you have to do? Meditate? Do you have to do, what's that thing? Yoga? Like, what do you do? Do you go work out before you get into a trade? Do you listen to music? What type of music do you listen to? All right. Keep records. That is the journal. How will you keep them? You figure that out. I showed you 3 different types. How many pips do you want a week? Be realistic. Measurable goals. Remember, specific, measurable, attainable. Make them rewarding, all right? So I want 50 pips a week. And then after I get that for a while, I raise my goal until I get to my overall goal of 200 pips a week, all right? And then maybe if I get there, maybe I'll consider raising it again, okay? So what will you do when you reach your goal? Will you raise it or will you just sit there and be happy with that? What types of trades do you take? Nothing over 50 pips for me, baby. Okay, nothing over 50 pips. What currency pairs do you trade? All will be answered from your journal. What is your end goal? My end goal is by 500 pips a week, I will be going live, and that's my end goal is to be able to supplement my full-time income with my trading income. I want to be able to take that money and I want to be able to invest it. Make the carrot huge. Make it something you want. Okay, what will you do with the money you make? I just talked about that. Okay, there you have it. Risk management, trading plan, trading journal. Woo! Okay, I'm done. Says, what rank is for beginners? I hope you guys, I hope that helped you out. Yeah, booyah! All right, if you have questions, go ahead and ask them. The rest of you guys are dismissed. I try to at least keep you guys within the hour and a half. So, who has questions? Was this helpful to you? Did you learn something? If you were on here last night, was it still helpful or did you guys leave me already? All right. All of this will be available on my website. I will take all of this, copy and paste all of this and stick it on my blog. Okay. So there you have it. And I will go back. Those of you who are like, what was your blog? This is my blog right up here. See, builtforwealth.com/blog. You go there. All right. I'm glad I answered it. Yes, this is posted. The video will be posted to the blog. This video today will be posted to that blog. I'm glad this was awesome. Hey, look, you got people in your team. They need to see risk management. They need to understand. Please show them this video. Stay away from the 10% today or the 4% today. I don't care what anybody says. I showed you the math. You guys saw the math for yourself. All right, does your Google Journal generate reports? It sure does. On my risk management revisited right here. If you like my Google Documents, you click this thing, you can generate reports. So it will have everything in a nice Excel spreadsheet, and then you can easily add up what you're losing or winning. It also shows you, like, you know, graphs and stuff. So if you like graphs and stuff, it's all there. All right. PIP is your 4th decimal place. Correct. Yes, PIP catcher. That's what you should change your name to. I'm glad this was very informative. All right, you guys. You finally understand what a PIP is. Yay. Very good. Make sure, if you're new, come back and visit this blog. You know, if this was helpful to you, please write something. If it was helpful, if it wasn't helpful, tell me that it wasn't helpful. All right. This right here will be on the screen as well. So you can see the math yourself. If you really want to do the percentages a day, you'll see what you have to get a day. Okay. There it is. You guys have a great evening. I can't wait to meet you too, Evo. Can't wait. All right, you guys. I will talk to you Wednesday. Wednesday, I will be doing probably I might go back to fundamentals again, or some technicals. We'll see. I'll put a survey out to see what you guys want. You guys have a very blessed night, blessed evening, day, and I will see you tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern time. Bye-bye, guys.